Okay, in next class we will try to understand in C++. That is what we can pass the values. We can pass the values to okay. In this class now we will try to understand how to pass values to methods. Okay, passing of values to methods as parameters. Okay, whenever you pass values to the methods, like in the previous section we have understood that as in regular functions we have passed the values as parameters. Okay, let us see. This is as it is, same library iostream. This is using namespace standard, a class car with class keyword, public access level. This is in place of void, int is used here. I will explain. Void means it will, the method will not return anything, but int means this will return integer type of data result. Okay, so method name and value passed as parameter. Okay, this is int value. Okay, then after we need to pass the argument at the end of this. This is the argument. Okay, then what, then car, this is what, this is declaration of the, this is declaration of the method inside of the class, and then outside of the class definition of the class, definition outside of the class. Okay, now then after what, create the object inside of the main function, create the, this is class object name, create an object, and then cout, through cout you will get the result. But inside of this, while you are calling the method, you need to pass an argument for that value. Okay, the same thing we will do, the same thing. Write the code, you delete all the code. Okay, and you write same as it is. As I told you that this is what your same include. Okay, next word iostream. I told you that iostream, this is a library which will be used to deal with what, input output objects. Next word, using namespace standard. This is a standard, namespace standard. This is a library mostly used to work with objects and variables to keep their names. Next, class is a name, so any car. Okay, car is a class. Then after, flower braces, and inside of this class, now class is created, it is to be terminated. Now then class created, car class created with class name. Now access level public, all the data members of all the class car variables and methods, they will be accessed publicly. Outside of the class also they will be accessed. Now once its access level is declared, now what we need to do, what we need to create a, that is what, a method. Generally void, generally we will void. Why means this void keyword indicates that it will not return anything while we are not doing any calculation, just it will give a printout. That moment void will be used. If you want to declare anything, like if you want to pass the values to the function, so int, that function, that method will returns a integer value. This is int, then function name, car speed. Okay, function method, this is a method declared inside of the class. That's why it is a method. If there is no any class, it is a function. Now inside of this speed method, we can pass the values as parameters. Speed int speed, max speed. Okay, this is what, now this is declaration of the method inside of the class, not defined. Defining of the method outside of the class. This is the outside of the class. Now come out of outside of the class. Now method is declared, speed, method name and value passed as a parameter. Now outside of the class we can declare it as int speed. Okay, define. So at outside of class we need to define the method. First of all we need to write the class name, that is car, then after 2 colon, this is called resolution operator, then method name speed. Okay, method always having, okay, this is very important, and close. Now inside of this we need to pass this parameter as it is max, okay, speed, okay, and then after return what it, this, because this method returns somewhat, that is what return some, what it will return, it will return int type of data, that is what max speed. Okay, now close. Okay, now you need to do what, you need to create an object. Object is what, in main, inside of the main function you need to create the object. Okay, object, first of all create an object to call this method. Where is your method? This is your method, speed method. So create an object for which class? Car class. What is the method? What is the method? Method is speed, but object we need to create. So you simply keep any object name. Okay, this is what we have created. Object for any name you can keep for the class. For this class, car class, object created. Object name you can keep any name, XYZ. Okay, then after how to call the method, you can call the method as obj dot operator. Next method name is equal to what, speed. Okay, but now you need to pass a value for this max speed. What is your max speed? Suppose 200 kilometers per hour. This is called argument. This is called argument which is being passed to this parameter. It is a variable created here. Now whenever you pass a variable inside of any method, that is called parameter. Okay, for this parameter argument I have passed. Next line of code is what, return 0. Return 0 is very important. Why? Because it indicates that then after there is no any statement, end of statement. Now run this code. If your code is okay, you will get the result. You are getting error. Why? Because error you are getting int car. We need to check back this. Where is the error? It is being marked here. So somewhat expected unqualified. We will try to resolve this one. Okay, so here we have done a mistake. Now here we need to keep this flower brace and it is to be terminated flower brace. Okay, now outside of class declared, outside of the class the method is declared. Now run this code. If it is okay, it will be executed. Otherwise we need to check back some more, else errors are there. We need to check back that if an error is there. So you are not getting anything here. So because we have left one more, that is cout object, we need to use with the insertion operator, so that object speed cout. Now you are getting the result 200. This is the speed, means this method, it is a, we have used int keyword here. It will return, in place of void, it will return some value by calculating. If you write void, means this method will not return anything. So while this is what for car class object created and cout object used to get the output, and speed method is being called with the object and argument passed. This is the value which is passed for this max speed parameter. Whenever variable is passed, it is called a parameter for that method, and at the time of calling of the method we need to pass the value as an argument. Okay, return 0, that is very important because it will indicate that the method is closed. Then after there is no any statements. This is the thing we have. We can pass values to the